Received an email recently, and it got me thinking, what is in a name? And in the case that I'm talking about right now is a domain name. You know, when you take a look at, when you type in a website address, google.com. Google is a domain name. If you look up my company's name, becktech.ca, that's a domain name. It's also part of your email address. You can see where maybe this would become very important to a business to be able to stay in control of their domain name. You wouldn't want somebody else using your name out there on the internet somewheres. Well, the email that I'm speaking about is a veiled threat. No, it's not even veiled. It is a threat. Straight up brute force threat that, hey, you pay us some money or we're going to take over your domain. We're going to take you offline. Basically, the gist of the email was that they pointed out what your domain name was. They gave some information. Incidentally, this information is freely available online in most cases. They can do a search and go find this stuff. And then they said, hey, if you don't pay us a certain amount of money, we've hacked your website and we're going to do a denial of service attack. And what is a denial of service attack? It means they're going to send so much traffic to your website or your email server that it can't take legitimate requests. All right, so if you normally have, say, sake of argument, 10 visitors an hour to your website. Now you've got 10,000 visitors hitting your website. It could overwhelm the web server. And I'm using some rough numbers, okay? There's obviously some scale to this, but just to give you an idea. So the threat is, hey, we're going to take you offline. You're not going to be able to operate. You're not going to be able to get your email. We're going to take your website down. We're going to embarrass you because we've hacked your website. And when people go to see your company's name, we're going to put something up that's going to be embarrassing to you. That's the concept. And then they say, hey, pay us by Bitcoin. Here's our Bitcoin wallet. And you better do it in a certain time frame. Because again, they're going to try to use emotions. They want you to take action. So they give you a certain time frame. Or bad things are going to happen. And one of them that I saw was very crafty. They actually referenced that, hey, if you think this is a fake threat, take a look. Look up our organization, our hacking group online, and they reference Fancy Bear, which happens to be a very well-known hacking organization. Now, they don't typically deal in taking down websites. Not typically. I mean, they're alleged to have some very close associations to the Russian government. Potentially could have been involved with the DNC hack a few years ago, and some other state-sponsored type activities. So very high level. They don't typically go after companies, generally speaking. So if someone got this email from the alleged Fancy Bear hackers, and they actually they read the email, okay, I got to pay this, and they're going to hack my website, and they're going to embarrass me, and they're going to take my company down, and oh my goodness, they say it's real, because look, it's Fancy Bear, and I just Googled it, and I see all this stuff and about law enforcement, and they're tracking them, and oh my goodness, I'm in big trouble, I better pay this. Well, guess what? That's the whole point of the email, is to try to build that emotion. They're going to give you some fake credibility, and they want you to act and then send them some money. From a business perspective, stop and think about it. I sent out a bunch of email, and people sent me money. I didn't have to do anything. Oh, I had to go take a look and see what the domains were, and then maybe take a look around the internet to link it back to an email address. How hard is that? Most companies have got directories of their people on it, or they'll have an info ad account or something. So they look up the domains, they send the email, and even if they're getting a small percentage of people actually sending the money, how much work did you have to do that? Organized crime. It's organized, and it's profitable. And there's a reason for it, and they know very well how to play with emotions and what areas to hit to try to get you to separate some money from your pocket and put it in their pocket. So, moral of the story is, names, very important when they're domain names, but if you get an email saying that somebody's hacked your website, you better send them some Bitcoin, go ahead and look up on Google the hoax about use the snip phrase out of the email that they send. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it. I don't want to give any extra credibility to it. But you'll see that this has actually been going on for years, but we got another whole new round going around right now, and they've added in that reference to Fancy Bear, which I guess kudos to them for trying to help hype up people's emotions to get that money, but now you know, so let's play it safe and keep the money in your own pocket. Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. Talk to you soon.